Act 2, Scene 1.
The scene then switches to the wife of Antipholus of Ephesus, Adriana, who is at home with her sister, Luciana, waiting for her husband to arrive for dinner. Considering her husband is running late, Adriana is not in the best of moods. Neither my husband nor the slave returned, that in such haste I sent to seek his master. Sure, Luciana, it is 2 o'clock. She begins to have a bit of a chinwag with her sister about the differences between men and women. More specifically, why women are held to a certain standard and why men can pretty much get away with anything. Why should their liberty than ours be more? She moans to Luciana, who funnily enough actually ends up siding with men. Because their business still lies out of the door, she replies. Basically telling Adriana that because her husband goes out to work, it's reasonable that he'll be less punctual than her when it's dinner time. But Adriana isn't convinced, and she continues to argue her point that men, notably her husband, can get away with anything, but women, most notably her, would be chastised for doing the same. To this, Luciana basically concedes that this is simply the way of things. Men are the masters, and women ought to just accept it, because to rebel against man is futile. This leads the two women to talk about marriage, and both characters are shown to be polar opposites of each other, at least when it comes to relationships. Adriana is the strong, fiery wildcat who isn't afraid to grab her man by the balls if he starts acting up, whilst Luciana is the more docile, obedient, mild mouse, who would probably let her husband even cheat on her if he wanted. I suppose it's a good thing she's not married. Anyway, Dromio of Ephesus comes running in and he's had a pretty crap day considering he's been beaten up by who he believes to be his master. When Adriana asks the servant where her husband is, Dromio of Ephesus replies, "Nay, he's at 2 hands with me, and that my 2 ears can witness." Which is basically Dromio of Ephesus telling Adriana that her husband attacked him. Of course, Adriana doesn't really care about all that and doesn't really even acknowledge Dromio of Ephesus' condition. Doesn't even ask him if he's okay. She only wants to know where her husband is and what his plans are. Is he coming home for dinner or not, damn it? Aye, he told his mind upon my ear. Beshrew his hand, I scarce could understand it, Dromio of Ephesus says. Or, his plans are beating me up, Dromio of Ephesus explains again.